So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that? And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purposes.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So today we're doing episode 5 of last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the season 7. And this episode is when they were in the 70s. They are in like two different parts of the 70s. It's 1973 and 1976. And poor Daniel who came from the 50s, has to adapt to 20 years in the future. And he's also learning some stuff about our generation too, not just that decade. Because he sees cell phones and computers that we have. But as he's so used to how computers looked like back in the 50s, they did exist back then. For your information, just look a lot bigger, mostly just gears. There was just not. It just didn't look the same as it does now. There wasn't really a screen during that time. I think that came back in the 70s. It came in the 70s where they're at, and they're figuring out that Freddy's supposed to be dead here, but currently the Quantichroms allowed Malik to stay alive 6 years longer than he's supposed to, because he's alive in 1973. He's supposed to die in 1970. He also lives 3 years more when they get to 1976. So apparently, they're going to do the thing that happened in Winter Soldier. You know, when they they try to eliminate a bunch of important people with Project Insight. Like, you know how they try to use the helicarriers to destroy a lot of important people. Now they're trying to do that here with missiles instead, and rockets. So that's what they're trying to do. But they're trying to get rid of Peggy, Fury, and the Hulk, because those are the ones who were alive during this time period. But what I don't get, why not get rid of Tony? Because Tony's like 3 years old during 1973 and 6 years old during 1976. Get rid of him too. He's just as important. He's an Avenger just like Bruce is. Why don't you get rid of him? He's the first one that comes an Avenger. Technically. That's the first one that Nick recruits. That's the first one that Fury recruits. Okay? He doesn't recruit Captain America first, even though he was called the first Avenger in that movie, but he wasn't recruited as an Avenger. He was just a regular hero during the 40s. So, and anyway, I just don't get that. Explain that to me, why they would not get rid of Iron Man 2 if they're planning to get rid of the Hulk. They're both smart. Just as smart. As the same person. They just had two different things happen to them. So I don't get it. If you're going to get rid of the Hulk, get rid of Tony too. Because they're both alive during now. So explain? Why would they want to keep Tony alive? So anyway, just want to know. So apparently, Malik has a son, and they're gonna Shield's gonna use him as a hostage for a little while during this episode, and they go to the bar to talk to can never remember his name. Elock, he's not. He hasn't. I guess he left after a year for some reason. I guess because he figured out that Malik's still alive. So I guess he left, and he like comes and saves them after they leave the bar. And this episode we have a little surprise cameo here. They have Patrick Warburton playing one of the generals in S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's the one who ends up helping. He ends up like being in charge of the Project Insight, but he doesn't know how bad this is. So yeah, and the whole so basically they're forced to go to 1967 where they're going to launch because they weren't able to launch back in 73 because they weren't ready yet. Apparently they were still it took 3 more years to do it. And Mac wants to stop it before it happens by blowing up the S.H.I.E.L.D. facility, because they would not be able to tell who is S.H.I.E.L.D. and who is Hydra. So they decided to blow the whole entire thing up. And both Daisy and Daniel get captured by Malik's son, while they're trying to hack into the computer there by using a computer from our age. I guess they wouldn't be able to handle something from our age at all. So, and since we're basically almost 50 years ahead of them, so it becomes the 70s, and they end up getting captured by getting shot by a gun that knocks you out, and Mac finds out that the Chronochromes captured his parents and put them in the base, so they're able to blow it up and have everybody drown basically in there, because then I guess he wouldn't be born. We don't know if he's born yet, so he probably wouldn't be born. So then they end up like blowing the missile by using their time machine. So they say Peggy and Fury and the Hulk from being killed, and I don't know what one they're going to go to, what decade they're going to go to next, but they end up killing Malik this time. Deke having to kill him, which is, since he's the one that ends up pointing the gun at him back in the 30s, would make a lot of sense to have him be the one that killed them. So yeah, so I'm gonna give this episode I kind of like how like the theme song like started and how they introduced all the actors' names. It's kind of like a little bit James Bondish, but the way they opened it, it was like a little Saturday Night Fever, because they did the music that John Travolta was dancing to, and they had he wasn't really doing he was just doing the walking, how that's what Coulson was doing, but it reminds me that how they entered into it. After they do the theme song, how they entered it with something like the Saturday Night Fever song. So I'm gonna get this episode, and it ended with Malik's son talking to somebody on the phone. So I'm gonna give this episode a 8 out of 10. So that's explaining to me why I didn't want to kill Fury. I didn't want to kill Tony. So, Sully, what did you give this episode?
I give it overtime.
So I'll see you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.